Hello. Give me one moment. Why do I have to be at work? Sorry, Christina. How is everyone on this fabulous Thursday morning? How is everyone? Huh? Tina, hello. How are you? Hello, Angela, Lisa. How is everyone? Divine Empress, VHS girl, Brienne, Beza, the Finish dude, Katie Wilson, Metaphysics with Steve. That's my strawberry shortcake friend. I'm just gonna say that. Origin story 444. Faith in the unseen. Daria, Joy, Nellie, and Fam, Gabriella, Cass, Ann. Okay, I'm done reading. All right. How is everyone, huh? I'm feeling low and fed up with SP's behavior. I know I deserve better, but not reflecting it. Okay, Beza. Is it Beza? You know you deserve better. You know you do. So how are you interpreting SP's behavior? Okay? This is an important question, okay? And I also want a piece of gum, so you guys are gonna have to suffer. I'll try not to chew obnoxiously. I need my gum. I can't relax without it, okay? How do you get rid of your old self-concept? You make a fucking decision. You make a decision. You make a conscious thought decision that you are no longer the version of yourself that has a shitty self-concept. You are the version of self that has an amazing self-concept. And listen, I'm being general there, but if you are thinking or interpreting reality from the place of, I have a shitty self-concept, I have to fix my limiting beliefs, I have to change what I believe about myself or what I believe about love, money, whatever it is you're manifesting. If you're consciously aligning yourself with that thinking, that's who you're choosing to be. See, when they say manifestation is easy, it is. It's just when we get 90,000 million trillion gazillion different people's perspectives and opinions on manifestation that it gets bogged down with bullshit. So depending on what you believe in, if you believe in God, great. We could talk about the I amness, God. You don't believe in God, you believe in the universe? Okay, great. We'll talk about you being a part of the universe. And a part, I don't mean a piece. I mean you are still connected to. Same thing with God, still a connection to. You don't believe in either one of those? Fine. We'll use the wording subconscious mind, if that helps. But every single one of us is consciousness, making a decision, aligning to a version of ourselves. Every single day, every moment of our day, we are doing that. But it's a conscious choice. So every time you think to yourself, I have to fix my self-concept, I have to fix it, I have to change. That's who you are choosing to be, that version of yourself. I understand that not everyone agrees that you can just choose to be the you that no longer has whatever limiting beliefs that you're thinking of in this moment. We'll use the not chosen as one of them, okay? But that's the limiting belief, is thinking that you can't just choose and become a new self. That's the limited belief. See what I'm saying? So even the repetition, right? Repetition is our friend, especially if we find it hard to believe that we can just decide to be a different version of ourselves. But that repetition is not for your subconscious mind. That repetition is not for the universe or for God. That repetition is for your current version of self to finally accept and believe that you can be the version of the self that knows that you are chosen. It's for that current limited self. That's all it is. What some would call the ego self. But even the idea of ego, in all honesty, okay? Ego is a layer of ignorance. We are consciousness. Everything else is a layer. So think of consciousness as this formless, shapeless entity-ish. And everything else, every belief, everything we know is a layer and another layer and another layer and another layer. That's all it is. But you don't have to believe in all these layers. You can choose differently and have it successfully work for you. Because I'm your example that you can. It is just a decision. It is always a conscious decision what you're believing in. Always. Okay? And to give credit where credit is due, that layer of ignorance, that came from, I'm probably butchering his first name, but that came from the scientist Hbic Bentov. I could totally be pronouncing that first name wrong, okay? He's got a book about consciousness, and that's exactly what he describes everything as. Layers of ignorance. But who we are is the God consciousness. Every single one of us. He refers to the God consciousness, aka universe, as the absolute. And you know me, if you've been around me long enough here, I'm not usually someone that gives a rat's ass what science says. Because I don't think we're limited by science, okay? But I love that he's a damn scientist, completely agreeing the who we are. Consciousness and what we are doing with our minds regarding our reality. I love it when a scientist backs shit up because it helps all you logical people, right? So, okay. Let me just get the chat going over here so I can see. Holy crap. Oh, I didn't realize all these super chats were here. Okay. Zach, thank you very much. Is changing a assumption about SP really effective, even if we don't believe it? As long as we go to the I am and declare and let the doubts be. Same with self-concept. 100% yes. Yes. So, is it normal to doubt and not really believe what you're choosing, what you're aligning yourself with, or who you're deciding to be? Is it normal to doubt that? Absolutely. So when I first started this idea, I shouldn't have said I started it because it didn't start with just me, right? But when I started applying that to myself, like, why am I doing all these techniques and trying to embody? Why not just say, I am the self? Granted, it came from a spiral, me losing my shit out of anger moment. But, you know, I was so frustrated with everybody's opinions about manifestation, especially if they were the opposite of my opinion. I'm so sick of hearing this shit. I'm just going to tell myself I'm new self. You know, I'll embody being that new self when it feels good. But when it don't feel good because I don't feel like I'm anywhere near my new self, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to say I am new self. Because I had taken the time to define what new self means to me, which I think everybody should do that. You know, so if you're manifesting a specific person, and I was manifesting the most amazing, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, I defined, how do I want to feel in that relationship? What do I want my life to look like while I'm in this relationship? How do I want to be treated? Blah, blah, blah. How SP is showing up, who they are, right? Like I said, there were days I didn't believe that I was changing. I didn't believe reality was changing. I was struggling. I was doubting. But guess what? It fucking worked. It worked. And I wasn't consistently focusing on just one belief, per se. I was focusing on a complete version of myself. And it worked. And, like I said, there's so many differing opinions around manifestation, and I get it. We're all having our own individual experience. What I will tell you is you are 100% in charge of your own little reality. You are, and what the rules are for you. So I'll use the example of someone who believes that there is no God and there is no universe. They only believe that it is their subconscious mind, projecting out into reality. But outside of that, they don't believe of anything else, which is totally fine, right? We do not have to believe the same things, right? I believe there's God, universe, whatever. So that person who only believes that it's the subconscious mind creating, that's fine. We can still be friends and work together, but you're still not limited by that subconscious mind. So just because you don't believe in God or universe, that's fine. But if you feel that you have to impress the subconscious mind, okay, outside of you making the conscious decision, that there's more to it, you are limiting yourself. And I get it. Listen, people can only give advice / opinions on manifestation from where they are in consciousness. And some people just aren't there yet. They're still in that limited place of believing that this is hard and there's more to it. You need the constant repetition of your affirmations in order to get it. No, that's a belief. And it might work for you as an individual, and that's great because you're the boss of your reality. But there's some of us who don't want to have to constantly be thinking about manifestation techniques. Some of us just want to say, I'm new self, and that's it, and go about my day and live my life. But still have it work, and still have it work flawlessly and quickly. And that's why it works for me, because I've decided that's all I have to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's that evidence that I'm the boss of my reality. But as individuals, so every single one of you that are watching this, you're the boss of your own reality. See what I'm saying? So whether you believe God, universe, just your subconscious mind, that doesn't matter. We are still friends. But you really are a limitless being. No matter which out of those you believe in, you're a limitless being. And you really are restricted by nothing. Really. It's just what you believe in. See what I'm saying? So yes, of course, let the doubts be there. Let the thoughts float right on by. Don't fight them, right? Don't get into a battle with your thoughts. That is only keeping you, number one, it's keeping you in the state of not having. It just is. It's keeping you in a fear state. So there's no point in it. It's only, listen, when we get into that place of constantly flipping thoughts, you are draining your own energy. You're staying in a state of fear. It becomes exhausting. So that's why you see people all the time in comments saying, I used to be the person flipping thoughts. It got so exhausting. It was so overwhelming. I don't want to do it anymore. You never had to do it. You had to make a conscious decision. But no shade on people that like to thought flip. I used to think we had to thought flip too. But that's where I was in consciousness. Right? I've risen. We're all rising in consciousness, right? Okay. So yeah, Zach, yes, it's enough. Limitless Queen Batch. SP invited me over and it wasn't sex driven. Mind blown? Why are we mind blown, girl? I know you're a powerful manifester. Look at you. Look at you getting evidence in your 3D of who you are choosing to be. Look at that. See how you are bringing in the version of SP you want. See? I knew you could do it. I'm so happy and proud of you. Well done, beautiful. Hi, Kim. I'm having troubles how I should act towards my husband after online cheating. I'm focused on new self, but still have doubts about us. Okay. Well, first of all, doubts are completely normal. Hey, GM. Today's your birthday? I didn't know today was your birthday. Happy birthday, beautiful. Oh my God. Well done. Well done. Well done with your mother giving birth to you. Well done. Okay, Panther Girl. Having doubts is normal. Listening to the doubts, believing the doubts, sitting in the doubtful thoughts, I'm sure you're noticing that it only keeps those thoughts coming. Okay? It's normal to have some doubts on this journey. Of course it is. It's normal to have a shitty day. It is. And I will say days plural. It's totally okay. However, it's time for you to make a decision, Panther Girl. If we are going to continue manifesting hubby, specific person, and this person has hurt your feelings, I am making the assumption that you've already taken that time to see how that manifested. And I don't mean from the place of, oh, it's all my fault that SP cheated. No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying I'm assuming you've taken that time to already understand how that experience may have shown up in your reality and understanding what belief brought it, okay? But now's the time to say, okay, I might still have hurt feelings. I might still be angry with SP, but I acknowledge and accept how it manifested. Again, this is not about blaming yourself. That's not what I mean. I'm saying just the understanding of basic bitch manifestation, understanding that. Because when you take the time to just realize, authentically own, yes, my shit beliefs manifested this, okay? Not to blame ourselves, but to accept that so that we can look towards forgiving SP. And you may have already started that part. You've probably already started that, Panther Girl. But I always, in my opinion, I find that to be helpful to remind yourself of how manifestation works and how that may have shown up in your reality so that we can remind ourselves that SPs aren't consciously choosing to do stupid shit to us. Again, just to make clear for the disclaimer, we're not talking about abuse, okay? We are not talking about physical, emotional abuse. We're talking about basic bitch relationship shit. So when the doubtful thoughts are coming in, and if you are struggling in those moments, you're getting upset, your body's responding to it. Your body's responding out of habit, so there's no reason to start panicking. Your body's responding out of habit. Number 2, because you know how manifestation works, it wasn't a conscious decision. So this person was not consciously intending on hurting you. But you also know that you are no longer the self that manifested it. Because you are making the conscious decision to be the version of yourself that doesn't have whatever limited beliefs brought it in. So there's nothing to really fear. Because you're returning to your decision to be the version of yourself that has the most amazing marriage with your husband, okay? So return to it. Don't worry that the doubts are coming in. Perfectly normal. And I want you to really see it that way. It's perfectly normal. Doubtful thoughts, scary thoughts, opposing thoughts to what we're manifesting is just a part of the human experience. It doesn't indicate something more is wrong. It's not a secret sign from the universe that you're just not meant to be with your SP. It's none of those things because you are the universe, right? You are. You're forgetting in those moments. So if you're believing the doubtful thoughts, you're forgetting who you are. You're falling asleep into separation again. So it's the red alert I'm no longer that version of self. I know who I'm choosing to be. I refuse to be the version of self who has limited beliefs. I refuse. And it's okay that I feel this way. It's okay that I'm doubting. I know what I'm choosing. I know I'm choosing to be new self. When I mentioned repetition earlier, repetition of you reminding yourself of who you are is your friend, right? Because remember, the repetition is to help us, the part of us that believes that we are this individual self. It helps us. It helps us to get the new self that we're choosing, right? The new version of ourselves, a new identity. It helps us feel more natural, more normal, more logical that we are our new self. It puts us at ease. So just return to it. Return to it anyway. Okay? But don't feel like you've got to battle every thought that comes in your mind. Because you don't. If they're really upsetting you, you got to remind yourself who you are. Your pure, unadulterated consciousness. Okay? Thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts are opportunities. That's all they are. Thoughts are little vehicles to other realities, other choices, other outcomes. You know what outcome you're choosing. That's why I word it like return. Return to your decision. Okay? Y'all should be forewarned. I'm in a sassy mood today. And Poop is bored to death by what I'm talking about. So you will hear her snoring occasionally. She woke up and looked at me right as I said that. I'm sorry, Poop, but they already know your secret, that you're a snorer, okay? They already know. Secret's out, Poop. All right. Riddy, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. I have 2 SPs now. SP2 is giving me everything I want from SP1. SP1 is my favorite, but SP2 has all my attention. Help. What do you need help with? What's the problem? Because SP2 is showing up doing all the things that you wish SP1 is doing. Why do you think that's happening? Because you have no resistance, and you know my stance on resistance. You have no resistance. You have no limited beliefs with SP2. So remember, in a sense, manifestation, or at minimum, validation, 3D validation, tends to show up in the path of least resistance. Okay? So it's not because SP1 is never going to show up doing the things you desire. That's not it. Okay? Actually, let me pause and let me read Brittany's message because she is correct. Just a reminder to please don't repeat your questions. Kim has asked us to mute repeats. Mods are supposed to warn you first. Thank you. She is correct. Kim tries her best to answer as many people as she can. I do. Brittany is right. Okay? The moderators should not be just automatically muting you. If that's happening, I need to know. And I need to know what moderator's doing it. Because my mods, I love them. But you guys are supposed to be given a chance first. Okay? I mean, unless, of course, you're just showing up acting like a total twat, then they're not going to give you a warning. If you're saying nasty things, you're just going to get, okay? And for what it's worth, I can go back and check. I can see what got blocked or whatnot. I can see. So you should be receiving a warning. But if you don't want to even be put in that situation, don't spam the chat, okay? They work very hard to help me, okay? Don't make their life difficult, please. All right. So thank you for putting that in there, Britt. All right. So back to what I was saying. If you feel panicked that SP1 isn't going to show up the way you want, that's just your what? Your logical mind coming in. So what I would do is I wouldn't focus specifically on either one. This is what I would do if I was living your life. That's what I'm saying. I would put all the focus on me and who I'm choosing to be. So I'm not telling you just self-concept. I'm saying if you know that your outcome is, I want to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with SP1, put the focus on being the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship without putting the focus on SP1 or SP2. Because I get it. You're maybe having feelings now for SP2. And maybe you don't want to choose between the two just yet. So don't. Put the focus on you, who you are. If you're choosing to be the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship or committed marriage, whatever you're looking for, then that's the reflection you should be receiving. However, very, very important, what you believe about the SPs matters. So if you know that you've already been in that mindset of SP1 is never going to change, what if he or she never shows up the way I want? What if this is just how, who they are? What if they can't change? It hasn't worked yet. They're not changing. If you know you're already doing that, you need to ask yourself authentically, what do you really believe about SP1? Okay? And if you believe that the who they have been being is their true personality, you need to make a new decision. You need to decide that they are the version that you prefer. That matters. What you believe about a specific person absolutely matters. Okay? That matters. And let me explain. When I hear people say, just focus on self-concept, just do self-concept. Yeah, if you're going to define thoroughly what self-concept actually fully means, because unfortunately, I think most people just assume it's just what I believe about myself, or it's just loving myself. No, it's not. What you believe specifically about your specific person, either one of them, if you have multiple, is a part of who you are identifying as. So let's say, for example, you're choosing to be the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. If you believe SP1 is, I don't know, let's think of something negative. SP1 is a player, okay? You are identifying as, I am the version of self that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, and SP1 is a player. That's your identity. That's who you are saying I am to. This is why it matters what you believe about the SPs. So how would you change that? I am the version of self that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship and have the most amazing versions of both SPs. Do you see what I mean? They are both showing up exactly the way I want. I'm enjoying having multiple SPs. Now, let's say you do want to come to a decision. You do want to get down with it and finally choose. That's when you can start focusing on one of them. So you would still be focusing on you and who you're choosing to be. But when you are choosing, so for example, you would say something along these lines. I am the version of self that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with whatever SP's name is. They are the most amazing version of themselves because they are reflecting the most amazing version of me. We are both fulfilled. We both love each other equally, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, use words that feel good to you. If you haven't noticed yet, if you're newer to my channel, I don't give out affirmations necessarily. I'll throw you ideas of what I like to use, but I don't give out the affirmations because you don't want to use my exact words if that doesn't resonate with you. You want to use words that resonates. So I'll use the example of, SP's obsessed with me. Some people hear that word obsessed and automatically think stalker murderer, that it means something negative. Well, I don't believe that. Hearing the word obsessed means to me, oh my God, they're so in love with me. They love being with me. They love everything about me. They think about me constantly. And I love every second of it. That's what obsessed means to me. So I could give you the example of saying, SP's obsessed with me. And you could be instantly in a feeling like, I don't like that. I don't like that word. That's why you got to use words that feel good to you, the individual. Okay? So you really don't need help, really. You need to identify as who you want to be, which version of yourself, right? Do that. And when you are ready to make the choice, or if you already know, I just want SP1. So then start including the focus of SP1. But for now, I would be enjoying every second of that. Just saying. Whoops, where'd this go? Okay, hold on. Casey Brunig, thank you very much. I shifted states and I'm seeing things I scripted, but I still have nagging that it's too good to be true. That, you notice how I respond to a lot of these things? Like, that's normal. That's just perfectly normal. I mean, what's the true definition of normal, right? We, the individual, decide what's normal. But in my opinion, having some doubts, having that lingering, nagging thought of this is too good to be true, it's quite normal. That is what I would say, like the remnant of your old logical self, the old self that believed that life just happens to you. So in those moments, especially if your body's responding to it, you might want to remind yourself your body's responding out of habit. There's nothing to fear. And return to your decision. And if it helps, and it might, try to remind yourself of how manifestation works. Look at your life. Remind yourself of, hey, I used to think like shit. So my 3D it really was shit. My 3D really did reflect the type of thoughts I had. I've been manifesting my whole life, right? That's to conquer the too good to be true. I used to also struggle with the too good to be true thought because it was exactly who I was my whole life. If good things were happening, I was an instant, all right, when's the bad shit going to happen? There's no way things can be this good all the time. No way. Or when I would notice that it had been a couple of weeks of life really being good, I would instantly get that anxiety, fear feeling in my body like, okay, what's about to blow up? Because life's been really too good for me. What's gonna go to total shit now? Because life is never this good for me. Or if SP's showing up right, yeah, this is too good to be true. No way. No way this person just loves me for me. That doesn't happen, right? Because of my limiting beliefs. That's who I was. So you want to remind yourself that it's not too good to be true. It's just reflecting your decision of who you want to be. Okay? Sterix Neil, that's your mindset right now? Then you know what to do. Return to your decision to be new self. It is not too good to be true. Listen, from my personal perspective, so this is my opinion, states of consciousness is the way to go in manifestation. That's my opinion, right? And I'm not the boss of manifestation. Boss in all of your realities. I'm the boss of mine. Understanding states of consciousness has been the absolute game changer for me. Game changer. The moment I understood what states of consciousness means, and just to kim that down for anybody that's states of consciousness is just a really sexy way of saying version of self, which equates to new reality. Okay. Each version of self, each state of consciousness is a new reality. Just saying, or new timeline, film roll, whatever you want to call it. Putting the focus on what version of self you are choosing to be. And listen, you are always a version of yourself. And with every thought that you consciously choose to believe, that is your decision of what self you are. So let's say, for example, today you're in a good mood. So you believe manifestation is working today. And you believe wholeheartedly, yep, I'm going to have my SP. I'm having it. I know I am. I know I'm the creator of my reality. I know I am. I'm feeling good today. Everything's working out for me. That's who you're choosing to be. But let's say an hour from now, somebody says something that triggers you about SP. And then your thoughts start going down the tubes. And you're like, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm just a fool for believing in manifestation? What if I really can't manifest this specific person? What if they really don't change? How am I going to get this person? I just don't see how this person can change. I just don't. That's the new version of self you are. See how quickly we can move through states? We do it all day long. So it's nothing to panic over. It's becoming observant of your decision, of who you are choosing to be, what thoughts you're listening to. And as a reminder, you are having an inner dialogue all the time. Even when you're not aware of it, there is always conversation happening. Always. Always. Even if it's just a conversation between you and you, as in you and your higher self, you and God, you and universe, you and SP, with, having an inner argument with someone. Something is always happening here. So manifestation, conscious manifestation, the point of it is to become observant of where your mind is going so that you grab your control back. You're not going to control every thought that comes in. We're not, right? We don't control the thoughts that come in. We control what we consciously choose to do with those thoughts. Meaning, do we believe them? Or do we just let them float right on by? And if it's anything opposing your manifestation, just let it float right on by. No need to fight it. Just let it float. Let it go. Okay? Aurora, thank you very much. Is it all right not to talk to my SP every day at work? It helps sometimes in case of triggers and just focuses on me and my end with SP. Of course it is. Of course it is. You can do whatever. Keeping it real. You can pretty much do whatever you want in the 3D. Now, I'm not saying that. That's not me giving you a free pass to go be an asshole every day in your 3D, right? I mean, your 3D. That's not what I mean by that. But I'm saying, if you are always returning to your decision to be the self that has whatever you're manifesting, you're returning to that, you can't really do anything out here to screw it up. That's what I'm saying. But don't be a literal logical turd and start doing mean things to people. That's not what I mean by that. Okay? I'm sorry, but sometimes people need that spelled out for them. Okay? So, yeah, it's perfectly fine. If you're having a day where you find that, I feel like today's the day I'm going to be triggered. If SP doesn't respond the way I want him to today, I want to take a break from talking to him today. Perfectly fine. However, perfectly fine. But if we are resonating with, I think I'm going to get triggered today. Nothing wrong with being authentic with yourself. And I'm glad that you're observing. But that is definitely a moment to say, I can take this break. I don't have to talk to them every goddamn day. But I know what my decision is. Even if I don't believe my decision today, even if today, my body feels, anxious, I know I'm making my decision. I know I'm standing in my decision, even if I don't believe it, even if I don't feel it. Okay? And, honestly, my video the other day about SP manifestations is kind of there as help when we're questioning things like that. You know what I mean? We don't have to do things we don't want to do, or like you said, having a day where I'm just not feeling it today. You don't have to do what you don't want to do. It's okay to not talk to them every single day. The only thing that really ever matters is what meaning you are giving things, right? Because the truth is, there really is no good or bad. Our logical side, we believe there is good and bad. But that's really, you and I as individuals slapping that label on, right? Everything is neutral and meaningless until we give it the meaning. So just be aware of that. Kate Johnson, member for 8 months. Kim, doors keep opening for me that logically shouldn't. Continuing to choose new self. You rock. Love you. I love you too, and you rock. You rock. You're amazing at this, Kate. Honestly, you are. All my channel members are amazing at manifesting. Well done. Well done. I'm not shocked, though. I'm not surprised. that doors are opening. I'm not. I'm taking a swig. One moment. Poop, obviously, did not like that I took a sip. Okay. I am $1 Million a Month Mama, member for 33 months, the OG of my channel membership. My man went to the hockey game with me and my friends. Wait, start over. My man went to the hockey game with me and my friends. First time ever in 10 years. We had an unwanted convo that broke my me. I love the movement, but that crushed me. He still don't want a relationship with me. Okay. So, outside of it, hold on. You know what? I need to wipe my nose, but I don't want to do it on camera. So give me a second, okay? Because I don't want to have a runny nose. Okay. All better. How you doing, Poop? How you doing? You want to say hi? You want to get on camera and say hi? Yeah. Oh, you're going to lay right on top of me. Okay. So, when you had that convo, first of all, congratulations on the wonderful movement of him going with you, okay? Wonderful. And let's continue to see it as wonderful. So you guys had a conversation. I'm going to make the assumption that you didn't start that conversation. It's okay if you did, but this is one of the reasons why I say we shouldn't even bother having conversations like that initially with SPs, because if we feel like we're going to get upset with the answer, then don't do it. It's wasted, I look at it as wasted energy, unnecessary pain. You know what I mean? So this is why I tell people, if I get asked in coaching, I really want to have the relationship talk with my SP. I'm always like, no, not unless you are knowing you are going to stand in your decision to be your new self. Because if you think that their response, if it's not going to be what you want to hear and you're going to get triggered, it's not worth the pain. It's not worth it. Okay. It's okay if you do it. And then, if you spiral from the answer, that's okay. But you got to return to your decision. Why waste the time being hurt? It's because it's so temporary. That's what I mean by that. It's temporary. That what they're saying, if they're not reflecting what you want, that doesn't mean they're never going to. Okay? It doesn't mean that. So back to BFF. Okay, so it hurt your feelings. It crushed you. But first of all, you're human. And it is perfectly normal. It is perfectly okay that you responded like a human. I didn't start the convo, but I ended it. Okay. So your response to me is a normal, natural, logical, literal response to 3D, right? That's like responding to it from the old self, the self that believed in separation, that life just happened to you, or that like SPs can consciously choose to not want us. So I'm not saying, girl, I am well aware that you are not new to manifesting. So I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm saying that to relate it to anybody else watching. So in that moment, when you got the answer you didn't want to hear and you were hurt, outside of the fact, okay, you had a human moment, fine. If it made you cry, that's okay. Get the emotions out, get the tears out. We don't stifle our emotions and feelings, right? Our feelings are always valid. And what I mean by that is in that moment, okay, how you felt, that hurt feeling was perfectly valid, okay? That would have hurt anybody's feelings, truthfully. But now that the moment's over, let's go over that. In that moment, when you were, let's say, resonating with an old version of yourself, you were. Because when we heard the words, I'm just making them up for this conversation here, I don't want a relationship with you. I do not want a loving relationship with you. I want to be, I'll just say he said friends. I just want to be friends. It hurt because in that moment, you were in a state of not having the relationship. So that is the only reason why it hurt in that moment. That's it. Okay? It's not because you're a failed manifester. You know this. It's not because He's never going to change his damn mind. Definitely doesn't mean that. It just means one of your limited beliefs, we'll just pretend it's the not chosen or not good enough belief. Not chosen, not a priority, are completely and utterly connected to not good enough. So it always boils down to the not good enough if you've got either one of them, okay? So, in that moment, you were in a state where that belief was still alive. That doesn't, hey. That doesn't mean that you've never escaped from that. Sorry. I'm supposed to be getting an oil delivery. So she might go, balls to the walls, barking if they're out there putting oil in. So it was just in that moment that you were resonating with that old belief. That's all it is. She'll stop in a minute. Pope, come here. And so does everybody understand that when you are responding to something in reality, right, in your 3D, if something's happening that's triggering you, it's because you're in a state where a limited belief is still alive within you. But that doesn't mean you haven't conquered the limiting belief. Okay? That doesn't mean you've never been outside of that state and gotten into the wish fulfilled. It doesn't mean that. So it's logical. Hold on. Pope! Come here, please. Come here. Come here. Okay, there's no emergencies. Settle down. No, come here. Be a good girl. They're totally delivering the oil right now. Sorry. All right. So, does everyone understand that because we shift through states, it never means that you didn't get rid of the belief. It just means you went to a state where that belief is still there. Okay? Because I know our literal response is, oh my God, I still have that limiting belief. Why is this still showing up in my reality? I haven't gotten rid of the belief. No, you've gone to a state where the belief is still there. That's it. It never means you've never gotten to the wish fulfilled. So please know that. So, you know as well as I do, girl, it's not because he's consciously choosing to not be with you. You know it's a reflection of something you're believing. So, what are you really believing about him? What do you really believe? Do you believe he can change? Do you believe he can show up and choose you just because it's you? Just because everything about you is already amazing. You're beautiful inside and out. Do you believe that about yourself? You don't got to send me the answers here. But ask yourself that. Do you really believe it? Do you believe that he can show up and say, yes, I love her. I want her. Not because she's got to prove her worth to me. Not because she has to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Whatever it is that maybe you feel insecure about yourself with, because you know that's what good enough is. When we don't feel good enough, we either think there's something wrong with our appearance, or there's something wrong with our personality, or that we don't have a good enough job, right? We all have our own little individual things that we use against ourselves. We are our own worst self-critics. So whatever that is, are you hanging on to it? Oh, be nice, girl. Hey, be nice, girl. Be nice. See what I'm saying? What do you really believe about him? And return to your decision, right? Take the time to define who new self is. Take the time to define who his new self is. And listen, this is for anybody else listening, try to remember. Literally everything you're experiencing is leading to your outcome. Even the things that feel completely opposite. Using myself as the example, I manifested more than one breakup. Do you think in those moments I felt like a breakup equaled my SP manifestation? No, my mind instantly... Boom! on. I'll be right back. Go lay down. Hush. All done. See, we're all done. We're all done. Okay, here. There you go. Be nice, girl. Yes, go play with your toy. Okay. All right. Sorry, they're all done with that oil. I'm not going to lie to you. I totally forgot where I left off. If someone would like to remind me, I would appreciate it. Your cat jumped? Can someone remind me? What the fuck was I just saying? Man. Well, I know I was talking to BFF. Listen, it's not that he still don't want the relationship, okay? It's not that. It's that whatever state you were in, or maybe you're in that state right now, there is a part of you that's resonating with he doesn't want the relationship, right? Because we wouldn't be upset by it. We wouldn't even believe it if it wasn't reflecting a belief. So return to your decision. Return to the decision that's in the loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with SP. Guys, remember, SPs or anybody else in your pretty little reality doesn't have free will. And I know sometimes it certainly feels like they have free will, but it's supposed to be believable. You're supposed to believe. No, I should reword that. You have the knowledge of knowing they don't have free will, but your 3D experience is supposed to give you an experience. So if SPs just showed up like robots, you would be bored as shit. We would all become apathetic. So 3D has to feel like a real life existence. And it does. It does it perfectly. Because we all fall back under the spell of believing SPs have free will. Everyone does. If you're manifesting an SP, I don't care what you say, at some point you have thought they do. Period. But they don't. Right? Everyone's free will shuts down after we decide who we are. So each person has their own little reality bubble, and you have the free will to decide who you are. But after that, free will's gone. Hence why we don't control how things unfold. Okay? So, SP is not sitting at home thinking to himself or herself, I don't want to be in a relationship with that bitch. I don't want to be with her. I don't love her. Or I don't love him. I don't want to be with him. I hate them. They suck. That's not happening. Okay? They can only reflect who you believe you are, what your beliefs are. So you really are the one in charge. They're not robots. They are still very much human beings. They are the same human meat sack, just like you. But they can only reflect you. And they can't go off script. And they can't reject your manifestation abilities. Each version of yourself, okay, has its own individual reality, right? So each state of consciousness has its own reality. So therefore, it has its own timeline. It has its own, let's look at it as like soap opera or movie reel. So each version of self, each state of consciousness, they are the same. Each one of those has its own movie script that everyone is following, even you. Remember, your free will ends after you choose who you are. Outside of that, you're following the script too, which is why we receive inspired action. So I guess when you really think about it, if you drop all that logical, literal thinking, everything you do is a part of that script. So what I mean by that is, right now, my friend, you're on the timeline or in the reality, following the script of who you're choosing to be. So in this moment, or in that moment that you'd experienced it, you believed that script. You believed what SP said. But you do know better. I know you do. It's okay that it hurt. It's okay that you had your emotional moment, but now you got to return to your decision. Okay? Return to it. Thank you, Just Joy. Thank you. Okay? Return to your decision. And I just want to say also, I think I should give an example here of how things kind of work. Let me Kim it down. When you are choosing to be the version of yourself that has your manifestation, that shift in your state of consciousness or your version of self is instant. It's instant the second you decide, I am new self. I'm the self that has my manifestation. Where people fucking go wrong is, I am new self. Where is it? Why isn't it here in reality then? If I'm really new self, why isn't it instantly here, Kim? That's your first problem. Because you can be in the reality of I am new self, and maybe SP is currently showing up saying, I don't want the relationship. Okay? So let's say you and your SP are back at that hockey game having a conversation. You know you're choosing to be new self, but SP just reflected, I don't want to be in the relationship. So that kicked you out. That put you back in the state of SP doesn't want me. Right? So you're in. You went from one reality to another. But 3D reality may not instantly change. But when you made your decision to be new self, what changed was the timeline, the movie script. So both circumstances, okay? So the one circumstance of SP saying, I don't want to be in a relationship. Both realities could have the same one circumstance, but the difference is when you made your decision, okay? So as if the movie roll had a line. I know, I got a ruler. The line went this way. I am new self reality. Has that circumstance though. SP doesn't want the relationship. But this movie line was taking you right to your outcome. To SP eventually getting his shit together and deciding, oh my God, I'm head over heels in love with her. In the moment that I'm going to assume you got kicked out of that state after he said, I don't want the relationship. And if you stayed in that state, the circumstance was the same. But the movie script moved. The timeline moved. And now, if you stayed in the state that he doesn't want you, this movie line, the timeline, whatever you want to call it, reality line, went in the direction of you not having it. So return to your decision. And no matter what reality looks like, it's taking you to your outcome. So again, you could have a shit circumstance in the reality of you getting what you want. How to know what reality you're in is how you're interpreting the circumstance, how you're seeing it, which is why I say, always label your 3D as I'm getting what I want. I'm having my manifestation. Everything I'm experiencing is me having my manifestation. Don't go logical. Don't go literal. That's not our friend. Those two words, not our friend. Especially if we're using it to hurt ourselves. See what I'm saying? I didn't feel like the breakups that I experienced. I did not think a breakup was me going to end up with my SP. It felt like the opposite. It hurt. I cried. I stayed upset and triggered for quite some time. But I still got the outcome. I still got it. So will you, BFF. So will you. Okay? Jersey Gale, thank you very much. Is there a way to use our negative thoughts, beliefs, etc. to help us identify what may be holding us back from being in the state? Yes, but your thought in itself, okay? I love you too. I am $1 million a month mama. I love you too. It's okay to have a rough patch. Everybody does. Everybody does. Can I just ask that if you are finding the information that I'm sharing today helpful, I really would appreciate a like on this live stream so it can get out to other people who may be struggling with manifestation. I really would appreciate it. It would be nice, okay? It's encouraging, right? It's encouraging to see that we're enjoying the content, and it gives me the hope, the happiness. I mean, granted, I know I could just manifest it, but I feel like saying it, okay? Every other YouTuber says it, I'm gonna say it. Hook a bitch up with a like. Gives me the fun, the desire. That gives me that inspired feeling of coming back and going live as much as possible. See what I'm saying? Okay. Hook a bitch up. Yeah. What's that? There's a what's that? I don't know, in another language, like, clap my back, I'll clap your back. I don't remember what it is though. So anyway, Jersey Gale, you thinking that something's holding you back, that has to go. Thank you. I love you too. Passionately Taylor Me. Thank you, Brittany Brooks. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Okay. You would love for me to take you through a day in the life of me manifesting? It's really boring because I just start my day with deciding who new self is. And I really don't do much else. Unless I fall out of that state and I'm triggered as fuck, then I remind myself. But outside of that, I don't do much of anything. I don't like being bogged down with techniques. I like making a conscious decision. That's really all I do. So it would be a boring video. It would be like 5 seconds. That's all. All right. So, yeah, scratch your backs. I'll scratch mine or something like that. Something like that. But I think there's a Latin one, right? In that old language, Latin. I thought there was. I had to take Latin when I was in junior high school. They made us. So, but I don't remember much of it, unfortunately. Anyway, I know literally and logically when we don't see our manifestation in front of us, that literal logical gut response is, I must be doing something wrong. Something is holding up my manifestation. Something is, an obstacle to my manifestation. Something is stopping it. Something's in the way. Because why don't I see it? If I was doing everything right, it would be here. Okay? And I know that's the gut response because I used to have the same response. I used to think the same exact thing. Okay? What I have learned, and I learned it the hard way, man. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. I learned it the hard way. So you don't have to. You got to stop telling yourself that something's in the way. You have to consciously decide, no, there ain't shit in my way. Everything I'm experiencing is evidence that I'm getting what I want, that I'm getting my outcome. Everything I'm experiencing is part of the unfolding. And when you think about it, you're always going to be in some kind of an unfolding because we are always going to be manifesting, yes? And I don't mean you're always going to be manifesting your SP. I don't mean it like that. I don't. You're going to have your full manifestation with your SP. But once that is completely, fully in the physical in front of your face, you're going to go on to other things and manifest more things. So you're always going to be in some kind of an unfolding. So you don't have to fear that by always saying that your 3D is unfolding, that doesn't mean that it's keeping the manifestation away from you. It doesn't. That's thinking too literal. Okay? So, like I said, first, most important thing, stop saying that there's anything holding you back. There's nothing holding you back. okay? But because you're the boss of your reality, and if you really believe something's in the way, that's who you are choosing to be. So therefore, that's the reality you're in, and that's why you're receiving evidence from 3D that it appears like something is holding you back from getting it. See how powerful you are? Okay? So there's nothing in the way. You're in the middle of the unfolding. You're going to start telling yourself that, okay? And as far as, you know, as like being able to identify what your limited beliefs are, okay? Before you do that, your number 2 is telling yourself that you believe you're limitless, that you no longer have any limited beliefs around whatever you're manifesting. So if you're manifesting a specific person, because it seems like everybody is, or almost everybody, you're going to start telling yourself that, you know, I don't have any limited beliefs around love and relationships or around my person. I am new self. New self has no limiting beliefs around love and relationships. Okay? From there, yes, when negative thoughts are coming in, observe what they're saying to you, especially if you're believing them, if your body's responding to them. Now, granted, your body's responding out of habit, but if it's because you just want to identify what limiting beliefs you at one time had, you could also just look at reality. What has been your experience? So if you're manifesting a specific person, what has been your experience in love and relationships? Or what experiences have you had with specific person? How have you been treated? Therefore, how did whatever experiences you've had, how did they make you feel? And I don't mean, well, they made me feel like shit. No. How did they make you really feel? Not chosen, not a priority, not good enough, fear of abandonment, you feel like love's never going to work out for you. It could be any one of those, which is why I say you want to already start telling yourself that you don't have those limits anymore. And, you know, if you're having specific thoughts about SP, he or she's never going to change, you know, he or she's a player, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. He or she's just works too much, or is always with their friends. What are you believing? And if you're thinking a thought like they are always with their friends, you got to change thinking that on top of deciding you are more than enough and always a priority. Because that's just the reflection of not a priority. Just saying, oh my God, I'm having a freaking hot flash. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oof. Hell yes, I am the best thing that happened to him. I like that sassy kind of talk. All right. So, I got that one. All right. Manifesting Maven, thank you very much. 1 of 2. Thank you, Kim. I love you dearly. I love you, Manifesting Maven. I answered the questions and realized this really isn't a big deal. Okay. Good. I'm trying to look for the number 2. I don't see it though. I don't see your number 2. Where the hell? Oh, duh. It's right next to each other. Sorry. 2 of 2. I'm seeking new representation, but I feel free and I'm getting a little emotional. Still trying to choose new self. A zhuzh would be nice and a little light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Hold on, as I am finding something to fan myself with. I already turned the heat down too, man. All right. As far as you getting emotional, no big deal. Okay? Have your emotions. If they're based in fear, okay? You know that those are just thoughts to other realities. They're little vehicles. They're not truth. There's nothing to be afraid of. You know, remember our conversation. Nothing to be afraid of. You just need to return to your decision. Okay? And if I were you, I would be deciding that your new representation is fucking amazing. And they make you feel at ease. Like everything's gonna be okay. Because everything is gonna be okay. Okay? There's nothing to ever really fear in the 3D. I'm just saying. It feels like there is. And that is because of our old conditioning, the conditioning of believing that life just happens to us. And we have no choice in the matter over, what we get out of life or, what person we're with, things like that. That's our old conditioning. So that's all it is. In the moments that shit thoughts are coming in and your body's responding, that's just your body responding out of habit. It doesn't mean something more is wrong. I know you already know that. So, who are you? Which self are you? Return to it. Listen, the experiences that you're having without me saying anything in detail on here, I know that they are stressful. But the beauty is you're awake to manifestation. You're not a basic bitch muggle human who isn't aware of the power of your mind. You've got that working. You've got the I am working with you because it is you. There's nothing to fear. And, what I like to do if something in the 3D feels pressing, obviously outside of me choosing which self I am, I also like to say, I remember when I was stressed over this stupid thing. I remember when I was stressed over it. Oh my God, everything worked out. It was so easy. How stupid was I for being so worried? I remember that, right? I love that I'm pushing fast forward and all of this works itself out. It was so easy. Everything ended up working out for me. I had nothing to worry about. I talk to myself like that. See what I mean? It's an inner conversation with self. And it's manifesting that at the same time. See what I'm saying? Everything's going to work out. Everything is easy, right? Nothing to be afraid of because nothing in the 3D can stop you from getting your manifestation. Nothing can. Even if you hear the worst things, the scariest things are verbalized to you in the 3D, still doesn't mean shit. You're still the boss. Choose self. Choose new self. Okay? You're going to be fine, girl. Seriously. Like I said, remember my scenario and how nearly identical it was to yours. And remember my outcome. And I wasn't even aware of manifestation way back then. You've got nothing to worry about. Seriously. Okay? Faith in the unseen one. Got your automated emails. Feeling better. AGN. I don't know what AGN means. So if you got my automated email, that means you have emailed me. Depending on what you emailed me for. If it was for regular coaching, consider yourself on the wait list. If it wasn't, if it was for emergency coaching, I'm assuming you put emergency in the subject box. Okay? But I can take a look after the live stream. I'm also making the assumption that your email has faith in the unseen in it, so I can identify that it's yours. Just saying. Okay? Daniela Martina, thank you very much. Kim, I freaking manifested my SP with the list. I am shook and so happy. It took only 2 weeks. Like, what? What is life, man? Crazy shite. I love you. I love you. And I am so happy to hear this. Write the list. I'm so proud of you. Well done. See, I told you it would work. I told you so. I've been telling y'all. It doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't. It doesn't. So well done, my friend. Well done. You get busy living your best life. Continue returning to your decision over who you are, right? Continue. Continue. What do I mean by that? I mean, sometimes when we're manifesting things, we'll use SP as the example. When we're manifesting SP and it fully shows up in the physical and you have your manifestation, That is not the time to stop telling yourself who you are every day. That's not the thing. And unfortunately, I'm sure you've seen in comment sections, I manifested SP, but they left again. Truthfully, most of the time, if not all the time, it's because when your SP manifested, you shrugged off your manifestation routine. And I don't mean you got to be glued to all these techniques. I'm saying you still need to choose who you are every day. And that's easy. A simple, I am new self. I don't think that's hard. Right? You're continuing your decision to be the self that has the amazing relationship with your SP. It's just a daily reminder so that you don't forget who you are. Because the 3D is really easy to fall under its spell and forget who we are. Right? So well done, Daniela. And you keep returning. Okay? Well done. Rhonda C, thank you very much. Hey, beautiful friend. Another successful meeting with my doctors today. I'm not surprised. I'm seeing great movement in so many manifestations and focusing on me. Continue to persist in my SP being there with me for my upcoming surgery. Good. You are new self. The self that has the most amazing, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with the best version of your specific person. And you love how loving, fulfilling, what's a good word to describe that they're taking care of you during your surgery? What's a good word for that? Whatever a good word is for that, that's who you are. You're loving how attentive SP is. Yeah, attentive. Well done. And congratulations on another successful meeting with your doctor. Congratulations. I'm not surprised. You're a master manifester, Rhonda. I'm not surprised. Well done. Yeah, prioritize, something like that. Nurturing, that's a good one too. Yeah, cherished, valued. Yes. Love that. LCG, thank you very much. But there's no message with it, beautiful. Thank you for the super chat. Did you have something that you wanted me to answer, my friend? Was there something? Or were you just being nice to me, my friend, huh? Were you just being nice and just giving me a super chat? Huh? How are you doing on this amazing Thursday? I hope amazing. Eric S. Williams, thank you very much. Kim, every time you hop on live, you look amazing. Eric, you are my best friend. Thank you very much. You look amazing. You are inspiring me to manifest an appearance change. Stay tuned for updates. Love you. I love you, Eric. I love you. You are officially my new best friend. All right? Keep those compliments coming, okay? I'm never going to deny accepting compliments. Just saying, right? Thank you so much. I love you. You are incredibly encouraging. You are an asset to the fellowship of HBICs. You are. You jump in, you help everybody. I just love it. Thank you very much. Casey Brunig again, thank you very much. Is it possible to give one SP more attention than another? I have two SPs and I see movement from one more than the other. Didn't we already answer that? Did you send me another one? Yes, it's possible to give one more attention than the other. That's a conscious choice. But like I think we talked about this earlier, that listen, if you're concerned that the SP1 who you prefer would be doing the things that you're manifesting and that SP2 is showing up. If you're worried that SP1 isn't going to do it, you're wrong, but you might want to ask yourself why you believe that. What are you believing about SP1? And if you're really adamant that you want it from SP1, then focus on that. meaning choose new self, but identify new self as the version of self that's with SP1. And SP1 is doing all of the things you prefer. They are your preferred version. See what I mean? Anna, thank you very much. Hi, my dear Kim. Can't believe it's been almost 2 years. Life is great, and me and SP are so happy and have an amazing relationship. Thank you, love you. I love you too, and I'm so happy for you. Well done, Anna. How encouraging for you to come back here and share that your manifestation is going successfully with you and SP. That is BBL to everyone manifesting a specific person. Thank you for coming back and sharing. Thank you. Everyone loves a good success story, right? Well done. I am extremely happy for you. I'm happy for everybody getting their manifestations. It is the best feeling in the world. I know it is. It's exciting. It feels powerful, right? Then you start thinking about all the other things you want, right? Well done. Congratulations, Anna. Again, thank you for coming back and sharing. Is it Ismo? Thank you very much. Love you, Kim. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Payusha, member for 1 month. Thank you very much. Hey, Kim. SP talked about us not being meant for each other, and I spiraled really bad last night and have cried so much already. And SP seems to not change at all, and it's really upsetting because he keeps saying he's happy without me. Need tough love, judge. Well, first of all, Payusha, do we need to even have the little reminder of my video from the other day about SP manifestations? We might want to go back and rewatch that first. Second of all, when SPs are reflecting in a way we do not like, especially if we are emotionally responding to it, in that moment, we are a version of ourselves, or we are in a state of not having whatever it is we're manifesting. That's nothing to beat yourself up over. It's just a reminder to return to your decision. I don't mean you have to ignore what you're experiencing. I never mean that. You can accept what you're experiencing, but you need to stand in your decision of who you are. In those moments, one of your limited beliefs is allowing you to believe what SP is saying to you is true, is real. In that moment, you are believing in separation. Because when we believe what SPs are saying, especially if it's negative, we believe that with our whole being. And we emotionally respond to it. It's not that we're bad manifestors because we're responding. It's because one of our limited beliefs is ringing true. We're believing in separation. We're believing that SP has free will. SP can only reflect who you are. And it sounds to me, based off how you're believing SP, he's reflecting you beautifully. He's sticking to the script of the reality you're choosing in that moment. Do you see what I mean? It's because in that moment, you are the version of yourself that is experiencing her love, not wanting her, not choosing her, not prioritizing her. See what I'm saying? SPs, in essence, they don't have the authority to decide if they're meant to be with you or not. They can verbalize it if it is a reflection of one of your limited beliefs. And again, he's still a human being. It's not like he's a robot. He's still a human. But just like you and anybody else in your reality, everyone sticks to the script of who you believe you are. This is why it's our jobs to be choosing to be the versions of ourselves or embodying the state of the wish fulfilled. or the version of self that is in the awareness of having the manifestation, having a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with SP. So here's the reminder, and then I got to go because I got a coaching call. When we believe in what we're experiencing, so if SP says, I don't want to be with you, we're not meant to be together, and you believe it, and you respond to that, and you cry, that's okay. Don't stifle your feelings and emotions, right? Feelings are always valid. Get the tears out. But then it's time for you to remember who you really are, which is pure, unadulterated consciousness. From their consciousness choosing to be a version of yourself. Because we can't be upset with anything in the 3D unless we are identifying with it. So if you're triggered and upset by something in the 3D, you are believing it's true. Your limited belief is resonating. You are resonating with it. You're aligning with it. You're saying yes to it. Yes, I believe you. Yes, I believe that he doesn't love me, doesn't want me, doesn't want to be in the relationship. I believe you because that limited belief is taken over. That's your red alert moment, bitch. You're falling asleep. Wake up, bitch. Red alert, wake up. You're believing in separation. You're falling asleep. Or like Vadim Zeland would say, you're fucking swinging on that pendulum. You're giving in to the pendulum. You're doing what it wants. It wants that chaos. It wants you to have that emotional energy of fear, hurt, anger. Wake the hell up. It's time for you to return to your decision. You got to remember who you are. Okay? Hop off that pendulum, biatch. See what I'm saying? Wake up. Now, it's okay that you had, this crying moment. That's not the problem. The problem is you're forgetting who you are and you need to return to your decision. That's the problem. Return. And by problem, I mean, if you don't return, well, you know what your reflection is going to be in the 3D. It's not going to be what you want. That's why you got to return to your decision. Our only job is to choose and identify which version of ourselves we want to be. And you choose your version of self. You pick, you identify by deciding what you want to experience, what manifestation you want. See what I'm saying? Return to your decision, my friend. Return. Okay? Rewatch my video from the other day. Okay? That was made especially for you. All right? Tiffany O'Neill, and then I really do got to go. Kim, you're the best. Just saying thank you for yesterday. I love you, Tiffany. That was so nice of you. Man, all of you who bought the super chats just to say nice shit to me, I really do appreciate you. I know you're spending your friggin' money on me. That is so nice. Honestly, I do not take any of it for granted. I do not. I am very much grateful and appreciative. I'm grateful for everybody being here. Really, really am. I know that there are YouTubers that just say bleh, shit and they don't mean what they say. I mean what I say. I hope by now you can see right through me. I mean what I say. I do love and appreciate every single one of you. You're my family. You're my friends, my social life. You guys are. I love being here with you guys. I do. So, unfortunately, though, on that note, I got to go because I'm now late. So, I love you all. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Okay? Well, I mean, content will go up every day, but live probably not till next week again. This week, I could not go live Monday or Tuesday. I had, lots of calls, okay? But next week, we're good. So I'll see you then. I love you all. Choose new self. Choose it. Even if you don't believe it, choose it anyway. You eventually will.